Hi, I'm Shuichi Murakami. Welcome to Designing Landscape Form series. In the previous episode, we learned the basics of designing ground surfaces as multiple layers. In this episode, we will extend this idea beyond the ground and explore how space can be designed as multiple layers. When we broaden the idea of layered ground surfaces, we begin to see a spatial composition in which different elements, such as plazas, passes, and trees, overlap to form a single space. How might the possibilities of landscape design expand when we see space as multiple layers? Let us explore this question. In the previous episodes, we have often seen space as three-dimensional composition of the underfoot, side, and overhead. In this space, for example, the plaza and the passes form the underfoot elements. The tree trunks form the side elements, and the tree canopies form the overhead elements, together creating a space for people to inhabit. Let us look at this space in an axonometric view. A circular plaza is located on the right side of the site. Four passes extend from outside the site towards the plaza. Two rows of six trees are arranged on both sides of the longest path. Here, the location of the plaza determines the direction of the passes, and the trees are arranged in relation to the path. The plaza, passes, and trees are not positioned independently. The space is formed through necessary spatial relationships among them. In other words, the plaza, passes, and trees all belong to a single system of spatial composition. So far, we have looked at designs in which all the elements are integrated on a ground surface. Now, let us separate these elements from the ground surface. Then, as you can see here, we can think of the plaza, passes, and trees as separate, independent layers. When we treat them as independent layers, the possibilities of the arrangement and shape of the elements within each layer increase. For example, the passes can be designed independently of the position of the plaza and the trees. As shown here, we can change their direction, turn straight passes into curves, or develop them into even more complex configuration. Similarly, the trees can be designed independently of the positions of the plaza and the passes. As shown here, we can change the direction and the position of the tree arrows, arrange the trees from two rows into an enclosure, or distribute them across the entire site. Thus, by seeing each element as an independent layer, we gain more options for how they can be arranged and shaped. Furthermore, by overlapping the independent layers, we can create space. Let us try it. When we overlap diagonally crossing passes with rows of trees arranged at right angles, the result looks like this. Around the circular plaza, a space emerges where people can pass between the trees. When we overlap carving passes with a rectangular enclosure, the result looks like this. The plaza and the enclosure coexist while shifting out of the alignment with one another, and the passes carve through the space between them. When we overlap complex carving passes with trees scattered across the entire site, the result looks like this. The plaza sits within a grove of trees while the passes wind throughout the site. In this way, a variety of relationships emerge: intersections between the plaza passes, intersections between passes and rows of trees, and shifts between the plaza and the tree enclosure. Through these relationships, new spaces are created. Such spaces would be difficult to produce if all the elements were arranged within a single shared system of spatial composition. Here is an example of a work composed of multiple independent layers. It is Parc de la Villette, designed by Bernard Tschumi. Please refer to the reference shown on the screen for more information about the project. Its spatial composition is based on superimposition of three layers: points, lines, and surfaces. This is a more abstract method of spatial composition than the layers of plazas, passes, and trees that we explored in this episode. In this episode, we learned a way of designing space by overlapping independent layers of different elements, rather than arranging all the elements within a single shared system of spatial composition. Neither approach is better than the other. Designing within a single shared system makes it easier to integrate the whole composition around a common ground surface. Designing with independent layers, on the other hand, gives us greater freedom to shape and arrange each element, allowing space to emerge through a wide variety of relationships. By understanding the characteristics of both approaches, we can choose between them or combine them, depending on what we want to create. Next time, instead of looking at overlapping layers in space, let us look at overlapping layers over time. In episode 10, we learned about designing landscape sequences. There, we explored how to design spatial compositions and working rules so that spatial changes, such as from close to open, occur one after another over time. The next episode will also focus on designing landscape sequences. This time, however, we will treat changes over time as multiple layers and explore what kind of experiences can emerge when those layers overlap. See you in the next episode.